for more than 20,000 years. This house shape has stood in the open savanna lands of Africa. Even when white people came to civilize, whatever civilization means, this round-shaped building has remained as a symbol of African architecture and ingenious engineering, with modern engineers also adapting to such a building style. But the question is why? Why this round shape? Why not the rectangular shape, or triangle, or even the pentagon, which is the bestagon? Short answer: efficiency, culture, historical and practical adaptation, and more. In this piece, we shall see how Africans built the best practical house that solved efficiency, best use of materials, structural strength, and a lot more. But that's not the only purpose of this video. We have to go beyond just practicability and also focus on the shape of this house. Yes, a house shaped like a bird. Actually, I think the purpose of the shape of this house can be explained with an African proverb, which goes like, if a fly settles on a man's scrotum, he requires loads of care to kill it. What? Yeah. How is such a proverb applicable to building houses? Well, here is its applicability. A house to Africans is like the scrotum. It's very important to make babies, i.e., make sure humanity survives, and the flies in this proverb mean bad things like wind, lack of space, and lack of building materials. So, just like you can't just slap your balls to kill a fly, Africans also can't just make a rectangular house and call it a day. But we haven't answered the question. Why do Africans choose the round house style over any other house style? Here is a list why, but don't worry. The last reason will be just funny. Watch it and say. 1. Ease of building materials. Well, since the house is not a square, it's very easy to build, especially with the materials found in African savanna like reeds, bamboo, and acacia plant. Here's an example. Make a circle, put the acacia plant poles up, then get the bendy plants like reeds and bamboo, roll them over the house, and voila! You have a house. But don't be fooled. Just because it is easy to build, it doesn't mean that these genius African engineers haven't considered other structural qualities. Just watch for the next point, you will be surprised. 2. Structural strength and stability. Most African populations are located in open fields of savanna that is prone to very strong winds, storm, and heavy rains. And for that fact, you need a house style that can give you the higher protection from these elements. And comparing to other shapes like rectangles, circular shapes work perfectly under stresses from elements like wind and storm by distributing stress uniformly, like in this animation. And these African circular houses help everywhere. During rain will slide off like politician promises. And what about wind? Wind glides right past the house like a ghost at a family meeting. Talking of gossip. Oh, did you see Omo's daughter? I heard that she put a tattoo on her boob. She's a witch. Speaking of gossip on structure strength, I heard that round shapes are nature's favorite shape. Take that, squares. Which is explained in the point number 3, thermoregulation. Africa is hot. Oh my god. During the days, you even find women sweating under their titties. We can't accept that. Wapi. We need a house that can cool our ladies. Jesus. And guess what? Yes, it is still a circular house. So how do you make an African house a thermoregulator? 1. Cylindrical shapes are very great at circulating air evenly. Not like a square house with many hot spots that can literally cook you. 2. Most African houses are made up of thermoregulating materials like grass. So get some African grass, which is a thermoregulator, put it around the house, and everything becomes cool. Cool like a Zambian lady after drinking 5 bottles of vodka. Anyway, I have talked much about the house and its curves. curves, like nyash. Just the carving, and good enough. Ugh. Apart from the house and its structure, what about people who love this big ass shaped house? Why do they choose this house every time? Then, let's talk about it. Historic and practical adaptation, culture and symbolic significance. Many African cultures associate circular shapes with unity, continuity, and harmony. The round shape can symbolize the circular nature of life, community, and the cosmos. If you're an African, you might have seen that most meetings are held in a circle, which emphasizes equality and harmony, which is the hugest deal in Africa. And some cultures believe that this shape protects them from evil, which has led this house style to be adapted from history up to today. Oh, wait. I promised a funny lesson why this house is always chosen by Africans, so here we go. 5. The African house is fun. You know, this house has no corners, so no one can hide in this house. Thus, no monsters to steal your Pokemon cards or monsters that are under your bed. In fact, why not remove all these bed stuff and put mattresses? This will give you about 46% more space than a square house. As a result, you and your loved one can have enough space to do activities that leave you screaming like, Actually, I think Drake would like kindergartens to be built in this shape so he can have more space with kids. Conclusion, look dude, I'm done with this video. I chose fun over regular information about African houses, so if you want some resources on the engineering, the make and advantages of the house, I've put some resources in the description. Check them. Anyway, thanks.